Imagine watching The Lion King 2 with your kids, and suddenly your 8-year-old asks, why does Kovu look exactly like Scar if they're not related? You pause the movie right there and realize you have no idea. Well, guess what? Neither did Disney, at least not after they made a last-minute change that created one of animation's biggest plot holes. Look at Kovu, the supposed hero of the story. Dark mane, piercing yellow eyes, and sharp features. Now look at Scar from the first movie. Same mane, same eyes, same face. They could be father and son, but Disney told us they're not linked. Well, did they lie? Let's solve the mystery that's been driving Lion King fans crazy for over 20 years. Beginning with the obvious, Kovu and Scar literally look like twins separated by 20 years. Same yellow-green eyes, same auburn fur, same dark mane. Put them side by side, and it's like you're looking at a before and after photo. Now, Disney doesn't do this by accident. Every Lion King character has a unique look. Simba has golden fur and a full red mane. Mufasa has darker golden fur and a massive brown mane. But if we look at Kovu, he is a carbon copy of Scar. How can that be justified? Then there's his name. In Swahili, Kovu literally means scar. Again, not a coincidence. Disney researched every single name in The Lion King. Simba means lion, Nala means gift, and Mufasa means king. So why would they name a character Scar if he has nothing to do with Scar? Now, if Scar wasn't his father, then who was? That question has fueled countless theories, and even Disney's novelizations toyed with different answers. One book mentions a rogue lion named Ni, who once saved Nala. But Ni's timing doesn't add up. He would have been long gone before Kovu was born. Another candidate is Chumvi, who was a lion around Simba's age with a similar look and personality to Kovu. Honestly, he's the best fit. But even then, the author, Alex Simmons, later admitted Chumvi isn't canon, so that leaves us right back where we started. But it gets more interesting. When we first meet Kovu, Zira tells him he was chosen by Scar. She says Scar saw something special in him and raises him to believe he's Scar's rightful heir. But nobody asked why Scar would choose a random cub. Scar was obsessed with royal bloodlines. He killed his own brother for the throne. Would this same lion really pick some stranger's kid to carry on his legacy? It doesn't add up, unless Kovu isn't some stranger's kid at all. Now, here's where Disney made their first mistake. Right in the middle of the movie, Nuka drops a bombshell. He's talking to his sister Vitani, and he says, Kovu, Kovu, Kovu. Scar wasn't even his father. He just took him in. Wait, what? This line comes out of nowhere. The movie spends 30 minutes showing us how much Kovu looks like Scar, how he acts like Scar and is raised as his successor. Then, suddenly, one random line tells us they're not related. It's like watching Star Wars and having someone casually mention, oh, by the way, Vader isn't actually Luke's father. But did you note that this line feels forced? It sounds like someone added it at the last minute. The way Nuka says it doesn't fit with the rest of his character. Throughout the whole movie, he's jealous that Scar chose Kovu over him. But if they're not even related, why would Nuka care so much? Something doesn't smell right. So I dug deeper, and what I found is very interesting. Ready for this? Kovu was supposed to be Scar's son. That was the original plan all along. The director of The Lion King 2, Daryl Rooney, confirmed it himself. In early scripts, Kovu was Scar's biological son, and Zira was Scar's mate. The whole Outsider's Pride was basically Scar's family, who were exiled after his death. Suddenly, the story clicked into place. The villains weren't a bunch of stray lions popping up out of nowhere. They were the fallen royal family, cut off from the throne and burning for revenge. And Kovu wasn't just chosen, he was the true heir. But then Disney's CEO, Michael Eisner, saw the script, and he didn't like what he saw. If Kovu is Scar's son and Kiara is Simba's daughter, then they're first cousins. The whole love story is between family members. That doesn't buy. Eisner decided this was too controversial for a Disney movie. So he made a call, change it and make Kovu not related to Scar. But there was a problem. By the time Eisner stepped in, it was already too late. The characters were designed, and the script was nearly finished. Even half the movie was already animated. So, instead of starting over, Disney tried to fix it with a few hasty lines of dialogue. That's why Nuka blurts out the awkward line about Scar not being Kovu's father. That's why we never learn who Kovu's real parents are. And that's why the story doesn't make much sense. Because they were trying to patch a massive plot hole with a band-aid. Okay, pause for a second. If you were writing The Lion King 2, would you have kept Kovu as Scar's son, or changed it like Disney did? I'd love to see what you think in the comments. But even after the changes, Disney couldn't erase everything. The evidence is still there if you know where to look. First, it's Kovu's design. If he's not Scar's son, why does he look identical to him? Disney could have changed his appearance, but they didn't. They kept every single detail that screams Scar's offspring. Second, notice Zira's behavior. Watch how she treats Kovu. This isn't how someone treats an adopted child. She protects him like her own son, because she's not just loyal to Scar's memory. She's protecting Scar's bloodline. Third is the timeline. The movie says Kovu was the last born before the exile. If Scar ruled for several years and Kovu was born near the end, he would be exactly the right age to be Scar's son. Fourth, his so-called siblings. Vitani and Nuka are called Kovu's brother and sister. But how are they related if Kovu is adopted? The movie never explains because originally it didn't need to. In the first draft, they were all Scar and Zira's children. When Disney cut that connection, they never filled the gap, leaving the relationships confusing and inconsistent. But in some international versions of the movie, the dialogue is different. Some translations still call Kovu Scar's son because the translators were working from the original script. So yeah, Disney tried to cover their tracks, but they left the traces. So, what's the answer? Is Kovu Scar's son or not? This is what I think happened. Disney officially changed the story, but they didn't change the heart of the movie. Look at Kovu's character arc. He starts as an angry young lion, trained to hate and seek revenge. Sound familiar, right? That's Scar's story too. But unlike Scar, Kovu learns to choose love over hate, and he breaks the cycle. Like Scar's redemption. This story only works if Kovu actually is Scar's son. The whole point is that blood doesn't determine destiny, that you can be better than your ancestors, and that love can overcome hatred. Yeah, Disney may have added those few clumsy lines about Kovu not being related to Scar, but they kept everything else that still points to the original truth. So, in every way that matters for the story, Kovu is Scar's son. He just isn't allowed to admit it. So, now you know that the mystery of Kovu's parentage isn't really a mystery at all. It's the result of Disney trying to fix a problem without wanting to spend the money to do it properly. Next time you watch The Lion King 2, ignore that one line from Nuka. I guarantee the movie will make so much more sense. But what do you think about this theory? Let me know in the comments, and if this video solved a mystery that's been bugging you for years, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss more stories that Disney tried to change.